Hello again, it's me, the guy with the YouTube channel, otherwise known as Joshua McFadden. I believe that's actually the very first time I've ever said the channel's name on this channel. Anyways, we're getting very off topic here. That just sounded really kind of weird. Anyways, today we're reviewing another figure, because fuck it, let's review another figure. Today I will be reviewing the Bandai 2002 Movie Monster Series Gigan 1972 reissue. And just to say off the bat, sorry if you can hear any fan noises in the background. It's kind of hot this time of year, so kind of need to keep the room cool, especially because I have these figures in here and I don't want them to get warped from the heat. And this camera does not seem to want to focus on Gigan. Can we get it to focus? No. Oh, there we go. So anyways, let's get on to the detail. Completely. Oh, well, that was fairly quick. You may notice off the bat, this figure has a lot of scuffs on it, and that is not my fault. That was the fault of the seller who I bought this from. I knew I was buying a figure that had scuffs when I got it. Because, I got them on eBay, and so he's a little scuffed, but you can see the detail is really nice. His toes are sprayed silver, and leg, all a nice detail along there, about as focused as we can get. Yeah, it looks like a really kind of wrinkly rubber suit. It's blue, which I'll get to later about the whole misconception with the colors. Kneecap pieces, thighs, which have a black spray on them, which that is notable, which I will mention why it is notable later. His body armor, I guess, section, which is nicely done. You got all sorts of scrapes and dents sculpted in there. They look nice. His scales, pretty much standard Bandai 6-inch figure dragony scales. Don't look that well sculpted, but don't look badly sculpted. The rotary saw does have some scuffs on it, like I said, but looks nice. His tail could be a little longer. Also, these are supposed to be silver, and they're not, but his tail spike is there, and that is good. Not sure if the spike should be silver or not, but it's there, and it looks nice. And there's some detailing where the spike meets the texture under his tail, which looks very nice. You can see a sort of wrinkly looking underside of his tail. There you go, there's more sort of wrinkly section, the scale pattern continuing under his tail. The wings, they're alright. They are supposed to be tipped with spikes, and other than that, they look pretty good. And the head, pretty good. You have his laser, which he never used. The visor, his beak, which is just kind of half open like some other figures, but rather than just painted in black, it's just painted silver like the rest of his mouth, which is kind of lazy. And as you can see, they did sculpt his teeth in there, but that's inaccurate. He is supposed to have 4 teeth on each side of his mouth, and they gave him 3. So that's a little inaccurate. And then there's a bunch of black sprays along his neck. The word neck escaped me. Wow. Anyways, and there's silver along his spikes, and it's a pretty basically detailed figure, but it looks nice, so detail is pretty good. Can we focus right there? We go. For articulation, pretty basic. The arms go 360. No real problem. He's very soft vinyl, as you can see. And the legs go 360. You do have to move the arms up to about here for them to go. And the tail is a glue seal, but if you were to break it, I would assume, because he's soft enough vinyl, it could probably rotate, but it's a very, very extreme oval shape, so won't really bother. And for sizing, I have no figures from Godzilla vs. Gigan other than Gigan here, so we'll just move on to Godzilla vs. Megalon with Megalon. Like I said in the Megalon review, if he was standing up straight, he would be about that big, which is actually inaccurate. This figure should be a little bit bigger, like that much bigger, but other than that, it looks alright, and you can do the whole movie there if you want. Just have to do that every time I pull out the figure. Next, here's the Movie Monster Series Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar. You know, this is very off and kind of distracting to me, but they still look good together, and you know, you can do, I don't know, do whatever you want with it. It's your figures, you're buying it. I'm not commanding you to, I'm just suggesting. And next, here's the 50th anniversary memorial box Godzilla 1975, because there are no 6-inch Godzilla 1973s, and I don't have Godzilla 1974. This, again, Gigan should be a little taller. That's just mindless fanboy nitpicking, and this looks pretty good. They look nice together. And that's what really matters. And next, here's the figure that has been every review, except, unfortunately, the last one, because I'm a good-for-nothing fuckhead, or whatever, who forgets and forgot to show this guy in the Powered Balton review, but Powered Rodent. Can't really speak today, can I? No. Yeah, Final Wars Rodan, repainted Bandai Creation figure, which this is in no way accurate. Rodan Final Wars should be like that big or something. But again, you know, good if you want to fight or something. Next, here is the Chogokin Gigan Final Wars. He's in power-up mode, but still, yeah, you can see the design changed drastically. Power-up mode is way taller. In fact, power-up mode is slightly taller. When the figure's in power-up mode, he is slightly taller, but that's just because of the horn on his head. Next, here is the 50th anniversary memorial box Black Mechagodzilla, because I just thought they look cool together. Because fuck if I care, why not? And they look good together. You know, if you want to do like a movie with them or something, fan film, you can do that. No Titanosaurus for him. Oh. Next, here is the Ultra Monster Series Bajiris, because they look pretty similar. They look good. I think Bajiris looks more like Gigan than Super COV. Everyone says Super COV looks like Gigan. Bajiris looks more like Gigan, and yeah, they look good together. Next, here's the Ultra Monster Series Powered Balton, who is obviously way taller, and this is probably not accurate, but you know, they look cool together, I guess. You know, this review is just really kind of dragging on and kind of slow, but yeah, guess that's what I do when I decided to make a review out of the blue. You never saw anything that just happened there, and if you do, I will skin your family alive. Anyways, next, here's just a generic Ultra Hero Series Ultraman Powered. They look pretty good together. Yep. Again, just to give you an idea of sizing, Gigan should be bigger. But, you know, again, give you an idea of sizing. Next, here is the NECA Godzilla 2014 6-inch version. No way accurate. Should be like that big compared to Gigan. But this is just to give you an idea of how big this figure looks with this figure. They look really out of place together. Next, here is just a generic NECA Pacific Rim Kaiju. This is Axe Head. You know, most of them use this body mold. So this is just to show you how big this figure looks compared to a fairly common figure that a lot of people should have, at least that's utilizing this mold. Next, here is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1995 Rebirth version, just to give you an idea of sizing, because it's just a generic Monster Arts. And again, should be bigger, but yeah, just to give you an idea of sizing, they too look out of place together. So that's it for sizing. Now on to the final portion of the review, history of the figure and pricing. This figure was originally released in 1998 for the Godzilla Island line, and I think was one of the first 6-inch figures, I believe. I'm not sure on that, but yeah, and then was re-released again in the Toho Kaiju, and, well, before I get ahead of myself here, the, what was it? it is escaping. Godzilla Island version was basically this figure, but in a slightly more dull blue and more dull colors, and did not have any of the black highlights. He was released again in the Toho Kaiju line as pretty much the same figure, at least to my knowledge, and then re-released again the last time in this blue color as what you're looking at here. And basically the only difference is the gold is a much brighter gold. There's black highlights on his thighs, wings, underneath his claws, and several around his neck. And then released again another time in the 50th anniversary memorial box, and it was pretty much the Godzilla Island / Toho Kaiju paint job, except with the sort of gold that this figure had. And I think that one actually did have the black highlights on the neck, but I'm not sure. And it was in black vinyl, and I think that one was made as a sort of, to commemorate the sort of, like, a paint job is sort of, like, I don't really know what you would say, but it's sort of reminiscent of the original 1989, I think, was it? I don't know, the original 8-inch Showa Gigan, because that figure was in black vinyl. And then re-released one more time as a special DVD exclusive version, which basically the same as the memorial box, but something looks different about it, and I can't really put my finger on it, and that one looks the best out of all of these to get, but it's obviously the rarest, and it just looks good. I can't really put my finger on it, and yeah, that one looks the best. Well, that one's the most expensive, but usually one of the 3 standard releases, like this one, the Toho Kaiju or Godzilla Island, will usually be around, I don't know, $20, $30, depending on if they have the tag or not. Usually you can find them pretty cheap, probably less than that, like, 15 or something. Also, before I go, because I'm a good-for-nothing fuckhead, I forgot to mention why he's blue. A lot of companies put Gigan in blue or green, just one color, even X+, and green seems to be what people consider to be the accurate color, but 1973 Gigan was the only Gigan to be completely green. This Gigan, 1972, was green and blue. It's just that the parts that were blue were a lot smaller, and you couldn't really tell what was blue on him because he was only seen at night. And those parts were his kneecaps, these triangle bits here, the circles around his arms, and these circular bits around his legs. Those were blue, and everything else was that sort of olive green that Gigan usually is. So that's why his figure is inaccurate, and why a lot of Gigan figures can never get the color completely right. So anyways, that's it for this review. I'm going to give this figure, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty good figure. It has some flaws, but they can be easily overlooked. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Once again, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.